I mean, Old Man Batman's cool, but Old Man Superman, they do it.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
Oh, he can fly. Oh, he's fast. Oh, he can shoot lasers out of his eyes. Oh, he's bulletproof.
Fake slabs have been circulating through the comic community, apparently.
I hate Spider-Man, man.
boy.
Spider-Man sucks. That was something I wanted to just get off the table right away at the beginning.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Collective Comics and the Lights Comics Action Podcast. We are diving into episode number 20 here today.
20.
Officially takes 4 hands.
4 hands. Four hands. For a lot of things.
Right? Man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. A lot of things are popping up the last recent weeks with Quantumania.
Yeah.
Going to see that. We just did a review on that last week, which was super fun. I had a good time. And then some fake slabs kind of circulating through the comic community. So that's...
Yeah, definitely some interesting stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
And it's the little bit that I've seen about the fake slabs, it's kind of weird and kind of... We'll have to see what happens with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So dumping right into episode 20. I do want to say one thing because I was editing the podcast and we were talking about DC heroes and villains, and I was talking about DC heroes and I accidentally said that I'm not that into Spider-Man. So I want to clear that up right now. I love Spider-Man. Right. Spider-Man's dope.
Yeah.
I'm not that into Superman. Spider-Man's not even a DC hero. Okay. I was like listening to him, I'm like, what? Like, why did I say that?
I thought we were, for whatever, I kind of remember exactly what you were talking about. I didn't edit this podcast, so like I don't remember.
Yeah, it was
frame for frame.
I was like, I'm not that, as far as DC heroes go, we got the Bat family, and I'm not that into Spider-Man and Flash and blah blah. I don't know how Spider-Man got put into DC.
For some reason, I thought we were talking Marvel versus DC, and that's how it got thrown in there. So, like, I think it kind of flew over my head, but it made sense. Like, I made sense of it in my head when you said it.
I think right before that, we were talking about Spider-Man villains. So I think it just got confused and thrown around, and I don't know. Regardless, Spider-Man's dope.
Agreed.
Spider-Man is dope, and Superman isn't. Agreed? Yeah. You got Superman all over this room.
Not agreed. I love Superman.
But yeah, so I wanted to clear that up right away and take care of that business.
Right? Your hatred for Spider-Man,
yeah,
Jake.
I hate Spider-Man, man.
Boy.
Spider-Man sucks. No.
Yeesh.
Clip.
Well,
this man hates Spider-Man.
Right. The homie Jake hates Spider-Man.
Yep.
Dude.
But yeah, that was something I wanted to just get off the table right away at the beginning.
Might not hate Spider-Man, but has a different kind of feeling towards Superman.
He's just boring to me. I don't know.
He's just been around for so long. How many times can I go? I feel like I do that a lot.
I feel like it's just like Superman's been around for a long time. He's boring to me. He's just got like every power. You know what I mean? He's just like
OP character.
He's just like, oh, he can fly. Oh, he's fast. Oh, he can shoot lasers out of his eyes. Oh, he's bulletproof. Oh, he's a god or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, come on.
He's
like,
an alien or whatever. Yeah.
How is anything interesting with him in the picture? Oh, we have to add kryptonite to give him some kind of weakness. What's kryptonite? It's something fake. It just is, and it's hard to get a hold of, and you have to get it from Krypton. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, guys.
Right.
But I mean, I guess back then when he's like the only superhero around, it's like, yeah, obviously you're gonna make him that much of a BA. But
yeah,
it's like now it's like we got so much variety, so much originality, and he's just like, I'm Superman. I'm like, good for you, buddy.
Comes back in. Fortunately, we've been seeing a lot of multiverse stuff. So hopefully with James Gunn coming in, we could see a multiverse Batman, old man Batman with gray hair.
Yeah.
I like that version of Batman from the Batman. Did I say Batman? Did I say it twice?
Yep.
Wow. I mean, Old Man Batman's cool, but Old Man Superman, they do it.
Yeah,
it's a thing, you know.
That's another thing that I forgot that we should talk about this week, because it came out last week, but with the Ant-Man stuff coming up, we haven't talked about the Flash trailer yet.
Oh my gosh.
I almost forgot about it again.
The new Flash trailer, man. Okay, so we went to go see Quantumania,
Yep.
and then the trailer starts playing.
Yeah.
And you immediately saw me sit up in my seat, and I'm like, there it is, dude. I'm like, here it is. Like, I was like, I already seen it. I was like telling you, my girlfriend's on the other side of me. I'm like, Keaton's in this one. Keaton's in the trailer. Like, I was like, he's in there. Oh, yeah, and he came in. We got a black and gray bat suit in that trailer.
Yeah, blue and gray too, right?
That's what I meant.
Don't we get a blue and gray? We get all kinds of bat. There's a bunch of bat suits in that.
I'm
movie.
so exciting. I'm just like flipping up my words.
Because in the trailer, there's that shot of like all the bat suits too. So we're getting a bunch of bat suits. We're getting a couple different Batmen.
Yeah,
we're getting a couple different Flashes. It looks like. So I mean, I'm pumped for the movie. I don't know. Again, we're in a weird time where like it's going to be like the reset, and it's going to, we don't really know what to look forward to moving forward. We kind of know that this is going to be the last one for Affleck, and it sounds like it might be the last one for Keaton as well.
Oh yeah.
Before we get into, because we know DC, like Guns DC is going to be Bruce and Damian. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens with that. And I mean, other than that, I mean, this movie looks crazy.
I know. I'm really excited. The one thing that I don't know if you noticed with the new Flash suit, when they kind of backed up with each other, did you realize kind of what that bat suit was? Bat suit.
Are you talking? Oh, I was just gonna say that anyways.
Suit was made out of,
because they like cut the points off the cowl. And,
yeah, you can see it. You see like the silhouette. You're like, is that Batman? It looks like a Affleck suit or something that they modified or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird too, because like Barry. I mean, spoilers for a trailer, you know. Right. But Barry goes to a different timeline where his mom is alive and doesn't die, and he runs into himself, but then something happens and that timeline's Barry doesn't have powers, and there's not heroes in that timeline, but then through some event he gets the powers, then they create his suit out of a bat suit, and it's intense.
Yeah, so I think the Flash, I forget what issue it is. The original suit in the comics is yellow and red, but like reverse. So like obviously his suit is red and yellow, but the main suit is like, it's like Gold Flash.
Yeah.
Or something. It's basically kind of what we're looking forward to here with diving into another multiverse.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
kind of Flash.
A breakdown that I saw talked about potentially getting like a reverse Flash, like the villain.
That's it. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yep.
So because in the trailer, that timeline's Barry is all yellow. He's wearing yellow sweaters, stuff like that. And then the Barry that we know is wearing all red. So, but it also looks like they're working together, but maybe we don't know.
Some convincing, it seems like. Cause, no Power Barry definitely was freaked out.
Right.
At the fact of superhumans in general, and then seeing himself be a superhuman, like, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, imagine you run into you, but you're a superhero in a different timeline. You know, it would be an interesting
take me home
rendezvous. You know what I mean?
Right.
You'd be like, hold on.
Yeah, I know. I'd be like, what is going on?
Wait 1 second. You know what I mean? So it'd be an interesting one.
And then also, with that being said, opening up the possibility to a new Batman.
Yeah.
By the end of the movie. So that's kind of what it seems to be doing, is kind of leading the way to a new Batman, which I believe to be the Pattinson Batman.
Really?
That's what I feel like they're going to try to do. Because they're shooting for a new Batman.
Yeah.
Obviously, all these guys have been Batman. Affleck's done. He's the most recent besides Pattinson.
Yeah, I mean, but it's also been it's been announced that Pattinson doesn't belong in this timeline. he's an Elseworlds Batman.
They're
and
they're
he's
messing
gonna,
with timelines.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're trying
like,
to introduce the.
But like DC
or
DC Elseworlds, which the Batman is, and the Joker and Joker 2, like those are completely separate from anything DCU. Mm-hmm. So I don't think we're gonna get that crossover, and I don't think. We might get the crossover down the line, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
I'm not saying like the movie, but I feel like Pattinson is going to be Batman. That's what I'm saying. Do you see what I'm saying?
I don't think so.
They're messing with multiverse stuff.
Yeah.
They're going to do. What does DC always do? Do some crazy stuff and kind of ruin it?
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what's going to happen.
I mean, what DC does is they tell the same story 15 times, just 5 years in between them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. I think
there's a lot of potential.
I think that there's more potential in the Batman standing on its own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And giving, because I wouldn't like I don't know how believable it would be to have Pattinson and then have a Damian. You know what I mean? I think DCU's Batman needs to be a little bit older, a little bit more experienced. I mean, you can tell that, but because I don't think Brave and Bold is coming out to like 25, so there is a gap there. But I still think like the Elseworld stuff. That's a trippy light happening over there. I think the Elseworld stuff is just gonna stand on its own. I was the one thing that I would be interested in seeing the crossover from Elseworld into DCU would be if they were gonna tell the 3 Jokers thing at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that would make sense. But as far as like building the universe or building the whole DCU, I don't think Gunn's interested in doing that kind of crossover at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just know that what has been said is going to a new Batman.
Yeah.
So like basically we're trying to get to a new Batman.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we don't know who it is.
No, not at all.
You know, but that's my spec. I guess you could say I'm calling it now.
We shall see.
I feel like they're messing with multiverse stuff. This all is happening within the multiverse. They could totally pull Affleck or Pattinson, bring him into the MCU and just let the movies be the movies in a multiverse. However they want to work it out. Like you said, that's their kind of like they kind of made this formula with the security of the multiverse.
Right, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see I'd be down to get Pattinson as main Batman. Mm-hmm. I just don't. I feel like it's not going to happen, but only time will tell us. One of us is going to be right. That's
probably Momoa or something stupid. He's not Lobo, but he's Batman.
Yeah, we're just gonna get Momoa Batman.
Right.
Dang. That would. Like I said, I'd be here for that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say too because we have no idea what to see, like what we're gonna get in DC moving forward with the DCU because we haven't even started. It's not gonna start until 2024.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I thought you were gonna sneeze. I was like, bless you.
I think I was just talking and not breathing, so I had to like get air back in my life. I was like, right. I shunned it for a while, and I had to lift the shun, like in the office. Shun, unshun. Tell Andy he's shunned. Anyways, what I was saying is, I feel like Pattinson works really, really good in the Batman and the darkness that they have in there and the way they're portraying that. But I guess my idea of a Batman in DCU, that would be kind of a weird way to go about that. But like I said, we have no idea what to even expect from the DCU. Yeah. So we'll have to see.
We're building.
We're not building.
We're not building.
We're not building.
I'm building my hopes and dreams on this one.
I'm building a basement. And update, something that we wanted to put down there is out of stock. So
what?
It's going to be a little while.
Is it a door?
No, it's like a paneling thing. It's a whole thing. But
oh no.
Yeah, so Flash trailer, super dope. A bunch of things. It's crazy because I feel like they threw a lot at us, but I feel like there could be a lot that they're not showing us. but also trailers in the recent history is like, all right, all the big points are already in the trailer. I just watched the whole movie to watch the trailer points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like you watch a comedy and it's like all of the funny jokes were in the trailer. So when I watched the movie, nothing was that funny.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So, and then Supergirl, we get her. I think that one where he's got his hand up and then he like closes it and she's behind it and just starts destroying people.
Yeah.
That's a dope scene. So
it's kind of funny though, because they told the kind of what they're trying to tell in the trailer with like the weak Supergirl that's been held captive here. They told that, but it was Superman.
right.
So yeah, so it's kind of like they're taking a Superman story or a Superboy story or something like that.
Yeah.
And just changing the character.
Well, I think it's that's where it gets weird too, because it depends what like origin you're going off of for like Superboy, and yeah, so we'll see. I think I'm just like excited to start getting DC stuff that lines up and knowing where things fall. And I guess I was going to save this for a little bit because I want to get your reaction. And everybody listening, I know there's news, but I'm going to frame it in a specific way to see what Javier has to say. Okay. All right, ready? There are rumors floating around that Netflix is looking to buy the Snyderverse and get Cavill into the Snyderverse on Netflix with a Man of Steel 2. What are your thoughts on that? Those aren't thoughts. That's just a head nod for audio listeners. Yeah. For audio listeners, he's just moving his head around.
I'm just trying to think about.
We need better mics to pick that up,
right? I'm kind of thinking about what to say. I'm slowly digesting this. Okay. So Henry Cavill could come back. Mm-hmm. I'm down for that. Mm-hmm. I'm excited about that. Mm-hmm. Why though?
Yeah, I don't know.
For what?
I mean, if this were true, it'd just be like Netflix sees that people want it and they want to get money off of it. You know what I mean? It's
a Netflix money grab. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I didn't want to say it yet, but yeah, 100% money grab for Netflix. I would enjoy it. I would see it. I would pay money to go in the theater and see it, but it's probably never going to go to the theater because it'll be on Netflix. So I'll wait my month and a half to see it. And
I know Netflix has done some things because for certain movies to win certain awards, they have to be in a theater for X amount of time. So I think it was with Glass Onion. They put it in theaters for like 3 weeks or whatever it was, really? Just to make it eligible for awards and stuff.
Like box office stats and stuff.
Like it has to, for it to win movie of the year, it has to have a 3-week theater run or something like that. But to end that thought, James Gunn has said that he's talked to Zack Snyder and Netflix, and neither of them have any interest in doing this. So it's just rumors that have floated around, and somebody tried to start a hashtag. And yeah. That being said, though, there is, again, rumor that we might see Henry Cavill in another role, but it's going to be in Marvel. It's going to be in the Venomverse with Sony playing UK Spider-Man or Spider-Man UK, and they want to take Captain Britain and Spider-Man and create this hybrid to get Henry Cavill into the Venomverse, which is exciting to me because, like, obviously I want to see Henry Cavill do something again because I think he got the short end of a lot of sticks. Yeah. I like the Venom stuff, but also, like, it's not my favorite. You know what I mean? The Venomverse over at Sony is not. I know this is another controversial thing, but I feel like all of the Sony stuff that they have done with Marvel, from like, I know you like Tobey Maguire, but I think he's like the worst Spider-Man. The Venomverse stuff is like, it's just like you're throwing stuff together, and it, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just like thrown together to me, and it's like, I don't know. It's like,
with Venom and stuff, it's just stopping Marvel from really being able to do anything with those characters. And that's all it feels like they're doing. And it feels like they don't want to give the power back to Marvel for Venom and Carnage and stuff like that. And they're going, but we're still using it.
Yeah.
So now they're just going to put out trash. And
we'll see, like, what they have to work with after. Because I think, wasn't their goal to do a trilogy in the first place? So we got Venom, we got Carnage, and now we're supposed to get this other one. So I don't know what their plan is, because Tom Holland has been in the end credit scenes of all the Venom stuff as Spider-Man. So there's some kind of crossover, but why? You know what I mean? So if he is there, then why wouldn't Hardy be in Marvel? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what?
Because Sony wants the rights and they're not getting the money for it and they're being stingy with it, and that's it.
But it's like Marvel trying to play ball and being like, yeah, we'll let you use Tom Holland, just let us use Hardy, and then Sony's like, cool, yoink. You know what I mean?
Probably.
So it's like, it's just so weird to me. Also, from a Sony point of view, like, why are you, like, I almost feel like if you're not gonna let your Venomverse integrate with the Marvel stuff, like, I almost feel like you're just like shooting yourself in the foot by using their Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you could use Tom Holland for views, and, you know, like, people like Tom Holland, so put him in your movies. But he's in like an end credit scene for 5 seconds, so what is he doing for you? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's so weird, because I finally watched Carnage, and at the end, Venom sees the symbiote, sees Tom Holland on the TV, and he recognizes him. But in their universe, wasn't Venom in Tobey Maguire? So what would Tom Holland have to do with anything? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
But Venom was a different.
Right.
It was Topher Grace.
Right.
From that 70s show.
But I'm saying,
and Toby.
Because, like, you told the black suit Venom story with Tobey Maguire in 3, and then, but now all of a sudden at the end of Carnage 2, Venom recognizes a different Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't understand, like, if you're not going to play ball both ways, like, what are you benefiting from having Tom Holland in your end credit scene?
Whatever that 3-week movie run did.
We'll see. We'll see. I feel like I said we'll see a lot in this video. I feel like last podcast was all about, like, this is what we saw in Ant-Man, but this is another one of, like, we'll see what's coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. What is to come with the future of DC and Marvel? You know, with DC coming out with these new trailers and stuff, kind of totally, like, cast this big shadow over everything Marvel for me. Mm-hmm. You know, I stopped hearing people talk about Marvel. I feel like I got used to Marvel, yeah. You know, and now finally DC's getting their little run in and getting me excited. And now I'm just tired of Marvel at a certain point, to be honest. You know, it's just coming out so quick, and I'm just like, wow, another thing to try to keep up with at this point.
I feel like that's exactly what I was going to get into, is like everything going on right now with Marvel saying this and DC saying that, but no side really saying anything. And it's like, I almost feel like we need another bracket week or another Mad Libs week or something, just because, like, I saw one of the articles I read the other day is like people in or not in for DC, and it was like the whole list of like Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, and it was all like stuff that we knew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
I saw something last night that she's supposed to come back.
Yeah,
for another Wonder Woman. I'm like, I thought we're done.
But like most of them were like not sure. You know, it's like, why is this an article?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't newsworthy stuff to me. Like, everybody knows this. You put a headline up for clicks to get your Google Sense, your AdSense fed, you know what I mean? And just said you don't know anything. Like, that's all it is. Like, and that's not something like I really care to do. Like, I don't want to just, like, if something comes up, like the Henry Cavill stuff, like I want to talk about it and get reactions and stuff from us, but like I don't want to just be like saying the same thing every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we still don't know what's happening with
we'll
Wonder
see.
Woman.
We'll see.
It's exciting, but it's tiring for sure. To even try to do stuff like that. I get excited for the stuff that I want to see. And like stories that I've been waiting for, and when I hear about things and I get excited for them, I'm typically stay excited for them up until the event and stuff like that. But some of the stuff, we were kind of talking last podcast. I still haven't watched it. Whoops, I lied. That I was going to start Loki.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask
if I started Loki or not. I did not start Loki.
To be fair, we're shooting this like 2 days after we shot the last one.
But I think in the last podcast,
you said
I was like,
I'm going to do this tonight.
Yes, that I was going to start it. But I still didn't start it, and it just seems like it's just another thing on the to-do list, and now I feel like I'm going out of my way to start it. But like when Pennyworth was happening, I was like, I'm down to watch Pennyworth.
Yeah.
I wasn't going out of my way to watch Pennyworth or even like Harley Quinn and stuff like that. I don't know.
I guess that brings up another point that I kind of wanted to see if we might not get feedback on this. We have a lot of silent listeners, which is totally fine. Like, hey, appreciate you being here. But if we get any kind of feedback, it's like, would people be interested in hearing about other movies? Like, even we've had the conversation, like, do we cover the Mario movie? Do we go see the Mario movie and have a podcast about it and stuff like that? Because realistically, we started this podcast to be more like nerd culture, geek culture, all things involved. And I feel like we've kind of migrated to like really DC Marvel heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And right now we're just kind of at a lull with that stuff. It's just like the same news coming out every week, and then the week later it gets changed, and then it gets changed back. And so like, The Last of Us is happening right now.
Yeah.
Last of Us is super dope, and that's from a video game. So realistically, that's like right up our alley.
Else?
You haven't watched it?
No. Issue number 1 of The Last of Us is trending right now.
Yeah,
and
of course
is at a spike price because of the show and all that. So it's a comic, so it ties in with The Last of Us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That comic hit that thing, but I want to start getting into more stuff like that.
Because I've always been kind of into Pokemon.
Me too.
And you're like super heavy into it lately. You know what I mean? And there was news that came out I don't know if it's a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago now, that like Ash and Pikachu are being written out of the main Pokemon line on the anime. But then it's like, but we cover DC and Marvel mostly. So I kind of want to see, like, if we get any feedback, like, would you be interested in us expanding past Marvel and DC and getting into some of this other stuff? And I also kind of was wondering, like, last week in editing the podcast, we were talking about like the basement and the movie theater experience and all that stuff. And like, would you be interested in like more personal stuff? Like what we got going on. We talked in episode 0 about like the music stuff that we have going on, but we've never really talked about it past there. So, just kind of seeing where people are standing on what they want to hear, and they might just be like DC and Marvel.
Yeah,
don't touch anything,
right?
but we can't. We don't know until we know. You know what I mean?
We're just gonna, I guess, shoot the shot. Shoot the shot, and if people want to come over and listen to us talk about Pokemon, or listen to you talk about your Jungle J, stuff like that. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but we just released the pull list yesterday from the day that we're filming this. That one had slanging under it, which is like one of my favorite beats that you have made.
I actually hit a little Easter egg in the podcast from last week. I don't know if anybody's seen it, and I haven't had a chance to tell you about it yet because you just reminded me. But we'll see what happens with that too. Little hidden gem at the end. But see if you find it. See if you know what it is, and see if you recognize it. Go check it out. Episode 19. Have fun.
That means Javier, shut up and don't say nothing.
Well, you don't know yet. I haven't told you yet.
I know. I feel like I watched it though.
Did you watch the end?
Oh wait, of last podcast? No.
Yeah, the one that's not even uploaded yet.
Okay, no, I didn't watch
So
it.
you
Obviously,
haven't seen it.
No. I'm thinking pull list. I was like,
There's I've been hiding some things here and there.
All right.
See if you can find them.
Okay.
But let's do this real quick before we get into the slab thing. Last podcast, we talked about the quantum realm. You said you didn't know what it was, and I had a very loose idea of what it was. So I did look up some information on the quantum realm to really tell us what it is. So we're seeing the quantum realm is a dimension that can be entered by compressing a human's mass to a certain point. Entering the quantum realm could potentially cause the person who enters to shrink forever. Could be used to time travel, but it is impossible to change their own timeline when traveling in that way. So and I think that's what they talked about in Ant-Man 2, where if you go into the quantum realm and something happens, you can end up shrinking indefinitely and basically becoming nothing, and then you can't get back out. And there was issues where I think the first time Scott Lang went in, he got stuck in like a time vortex. So time moves differently within the quantum realm. But if you end up in a time vortex, you're just stuck there and nothing goes by, but everything goes by at the same time. So everything will move differently. Whereas like if you're in the main part of the quantum realm, it's not one for one to like outside of the quantum realm, but it does age a lot. You can age. Okay. Where in that like time vortex, you're just stuck there and nothing, like time is passing outside but not inside. So it's like a whole thing. I also found the quantum realm is a vibrant frontier of flora, fauna, and physics-defying landscapes, as well as a society of sentient beings fighting for control of it all. So it's just this crazy area of flora, fauna, and physics, which we kind of covered and talked about how interesting it looked and, the different looks of everything within the quantum realm. And there's always people fighting for control of quantum realm. So I think knowing those specifics, Ant-Man Quantumania had an awesome portrayal of that in the movie with the colors and the scenery, and it was all cool.
Yeah, I dug it. I dug the scenery and everything. I don't want to dive in too much of another review, of the movie, but
the last thing I was going to say about it is apparently there was history made with this movie.
That's one thing that I did want to talk about.
And the end credit scene, the last end credit scene with Mobius and Loki is apparently a scene directly out of Loki season 2. So it's the first movie to include a full scene from a TV show as an end credit scene.
Dang.
So we got a little bit of a teaser there for Loki season 2, and they made history with that one.
Dang. I think I don't know if it's necessarily history, but it's history for Ant-Man as well with this movie within the first 3 days making over $104 million.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
That's profit.
Because I saw like Ant-Man makes history as like a headline, and I thought it was going to be information like that, but it was about the end credits.
Yeah, so I saw it last night, which was Monday night. Really? So we saw it throughout the weekend. We saw it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Those are those 3 days. It's accounted for $104 million. The second one did 65 or 70 million. The first one did 25.
Okay. And I mean, it's crazy too, because we talked about in the last podcast, like the other movies we went to, we were pretty alone in the theater, but this one there was a lot of people when we went.
Yeah, so people are going to see Ant-Man and people are digging it, apparently. Yeah. Critics thought it was going to flop. They gave it like a 14-15%.
Oh, okay.
Or something.
I think it's a little bit better than that. But
audience reviews after the $104 million is 85%.
Oh, wow.
Hype on it, like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that.
80%? I mean, we gave it a 6 and a 7, so we're not that far off.
Yeah, you know, we felt that it was good. Is it anything major?
Yeah, it was. No. For us, it was not really anything about the movie that threw us off. It was just like... yeah, it's a movie. It's a superhero movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where it kind of fell for us. So, I mean, that totally makes sense, and it's cool.
Which is awesome because I wasn't expecting anything record-breaking to happen from this movie.
Yeah.
But this is definitely the biggest Ant-Man movie. And we're, 2 days after that, I'm sure it's made more money. Next weekend, it's going to make more money.
Yeah.
So they got a banger with this one. They made it out. Especially when you take into consideration and you compare Marvel and DC. And the one that I was really hyped on, and I thought there was a lot of hype for it, was Black Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Black Adam did $70 million.
Yeah.
And I apparently didn't make anything over what they actually spent.
Right. Yeah.
On it in that first weekend for $104 million apparently in profit. That's after what was spent and taken out.
Right.
I'm like, ooh.
Well, I think Black Adam was interesting too because there was just so much. I don't want to say like there was they shot a bunch of smoke with that with the Rock and hyped it up, and it was like
The Cavill thing.
The Rock. Yeah, the Cavill thing came like right before it came out, but the Rock had been talking about it for how long? You know what I mean? And they're like, "This is gonna be great. This is gonna be great." And the Rock's making comments like, "I'm gonna save DC with this one." And it's like, I think the hype was built for a reason, and it just didn't deliver like people thought it would.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So. That's crazy. And then the Ant-Man thing, like I feel like Kang is interesting. People like Ant-Man. But I feel like this one was like totally story driven. It was like we're gonna see the Quantum Realm, we're gonna see Kang, it's gonna set up Kang Dynasty. And people were like,
we knew that.
Let's see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like the Black Adam thing is like, we're going to get Black Adam. We're going to get The Rock in an action movie. Right. You know what I mean?
And introduce Dr. Fate and Cyclone and everybody, how the way they did.
Yeah, I did see that. I think The Rock has been like replaced on Jungle Cruise since then. And we'll have to keep up with The Rock a little bit and see what's going on over there because it sounds like
Gonna have to start wrestling again.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll saw. Well, he's supposed to. He's supposed to be coming back, but now it seems like he might not, and it's a whole mess. But getting into wrestling could be a whole nother podcast that we do weekly. And that's another 10 hours of content we'd have to watch every week, and it's intense, like camping. Gotham or Deceased issue 6, you talked about it last week on the pull list. Check out those variants because I wanted to just highlight one of them that I didn't see before editing. There is an NWA straight out of Gotham variant. That's all I want to say. That's dope.
Really?
Yeah. There's a straight out of Gotham variant for that one.
It's probably a lot of money.
It's super cool.
Is it a ratio?
I don't know. It might be a 1 out of 50 or 1 out of 25. I don't know what it was, but I'm
grabbing it dude, because I missed out on the Eminem one. I missed out on the Biggie one. I'm grabbing it.
Yeah,
there's
there's a straight out of Gotham, and I thought that was interesting.
Yep.
That being said, let's talk about these slabs, y'all.
Explosions.
Talking about the slabs, diving on into it.
Yes.
Fake slabs have been circulating through the comic community, apparently. People are faking, well, I don't know how extensive they're faking this. Apparently cracking open slabs, taking their labels and putting like a photocopy of what could be a real comic or an older comic. And typically they're a little bit of bigger books that these are being done to.
Like Hulk 1, I saw was one of them. I think there was like
a Hulk 180. Yeah. I think it was like the first appearance of Wolverine, which is like $1,000.
Yeah. Wasn't it? I thought the one that I saw was like Hulk 1. Like
there's a few
Hulk, like straight up old photocopied cover.
There's a Captain America that's circulating. Obviously it's been busted, so I don't think it's still currently circulating, but people are faking these. And especially when you're buying on eBay and trying to buy these super crazy golden age books raw, people buy pieces of these books because they are so rare. They'll take page number 3, and like I'll give you $50 for page number 3 if you have it, and stuff like that. Or they'll take the cover and I don't have the rest of the book, but I have the front cover. I'll take it, because they want these things so bad because they are realistically that rare and collectible. So they're getting listed up on eBay, and it's a photo of a photocopied cover.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
The one that I saw was like showing like the actual cover next to the photocopy, and like they're pretty good copies.
They're I couldn't tell, to be honest. Like, looking at it at first, especially through my phone, you know what I'm saying? Which is, I'm assuming, how most of us probably end up buying our comics if we're not going to
eBay,
an
Craigslist,
exactly.
whatnot.
Exactly. You know, so not being able to see these pictures and stuff, or thinking you have good pictures and they look like good pictures, but it's because it's more than likely not true. You know,
somebody's taking a picture on their phone through a piece of plastic of a photocopy. You know, it's
put it in a bag and board.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on with this. So, do you know anything? Has CGC said anything?
I don't think CGC has said too much about it, other than when you have it, there is definitely like dead giveaways when you have a fake CGC slab. The most common is that it seems like they're prying open these slabs, getting them cracked open, somehow replacing the inside and sealing it. And this is the scary thing is with this is that this is clearly being done by somebody that knows what they're doing.
Right.
You know, so this is a collector that knows what to look for, knows how to somehow take out the inside comic and get it resealed or something like that, which is crazy to me because it almost sounds like an inside job.
Yeah, but there are companies that do break open slabs. You can break them open.
You can break them open, but once you cut it, you have to have another thing to clamp it in.
Yeah, I
don't
know.
You have to be able to get a hold of the inside CGC sleeve. That's the sketchy part.
Yeah, I have no idea. You know, it's not like going back to like our music backgrounds. It's not like somebody doesn't know anything about guitars. They buy $100 guitar thinking they're going to make $500 off of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are people who know exactly what they're doing.
Yes.
They know exactly what to look for. They know exactly what to print, a photocopy. They know how to break open the slab. They know how to seal the slab. Granted, there's like warps and stuff when they're resealing them, and you can tell, but those are all things that you're not going to tell making an eBay purchase.
Yeah. If that one corner that they melted too much, that's what it seems like they're doing, is that they're cracking it open and then somehow trying to fuse it back together, but they're melting them back together. So you can see the wave throughout the edge of that slab, especially on the corners and stuff like that. So look out for it. And if there's a corner of that book that's not covered on photo, don't buy it. Don't buy it, or ask the seller for more photos. And that's what it comes down to. Ask them for more photos, and if you don't feel good about it and it doesn't feel right, then it's probably not right.
Right. Yeah.
Like, realistically, trust your gut when it comes to that kind of stuff, because it's extremely disappointing to like even be anything. I deal with CGC slabs all the time. I'm selling CGC slabs. I'm buying CGC slabs. I haven't seen a fake one personally.
Right.
You know, so I don't. But from the photos, you can tell when the corners is kind of cut off. But people are jumping the gun thinking, oh, it's a CGC slab. You can't fake it. No, you can't fake it, but you can damage it and you can mess with it.
Yeah.
And you can fake the inside.
Well, that's what I think I said that when I walked in earlier. I was like, how long is it till people just start figuring out how to like 3D print CGC slabs, print the label? You know, realistically with technology where it is, we're probably not that far off. You know what I mean? I feel like we're going to have to find, or not we, but CGC, CBCS, like we're going to have to find ways to really like figure this out.
Well, that's what really comes down to it, because all of the, especially now within these last few years, and QR codes are such a big thing. Most slabs have QR codes on the back of them. So you can scan them and it'll take you straight to CGC's website where that specific book has the grader's notes for that book. Mm-hmm. So you know what it's been through, why it's graded what it is. You can look up the SKUs on the front of the book as well. Every CGC slab has its own specific SKU and it lines up to that book. So, you know, if
I feel like that's easier to duplicate than the slab itself. You know what I mean? Like,
it lines up to that book, to who graded it. It lines up everything.
but you got like some big YouTuber, right? Like, check this out. I got this slab. They hold it up like this. Take a look at the back. It's like anybody who's really good at like Photoshop. There's people making like fake passports and fake IDs. They can make a fake CGC slab that'll take you right to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you also have to know that that's the right book in there. You know what I'm saying? So like when it'll take you to those notes, but what if you have the cover of a book
Yeah.
that's inside?
Well, I'm just saying,
you know what I'm saying? So you can kind of take the grader's notes, look at the grader's notes and be like, there's the nick they're talking about, here's the corner bend they're talking about, okay, you know, things like that.
But I feel like those are also those things that you have to get it in your hand before, you know what I mean? So like we said, if there's like a blurry picture on eBay,
I'm not buying it.
yeah,
I mean, period.
it's just one of those things
Yeah.
where like, you're like, okay, I see this thing on eBay. You take your phone or whatever and you hold up the QR code, checks out with what's inside of it. You're doing this, you're doing that. And then you receive it and it's just like a 3D printed slab with a cover that's photocopied with a label that's remade. You know what I mean? And those are all things that you're not going to know. Like shopping on eBay, shopping on Craigslist, shopping on, you know, buying it this way. I hope in my heart, you know, that like we can like snuff this out and put an end to this and people can enjoy buying slabs online. You know, I don't want to like stop that from happening. No. But I think we're getting to a point where it's like so easy to duplicate everything. You know, people are 3D printing AR-15s.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? Like
that's the thing that makes it so crazy is that like, okay, with Pokemon cards and getting into cards, obviously cards are very much faked.
Oh yeah.
Cards are one of the most common fake collectibles that you can start getting into, especially with Pokemon. With that being said, it's always kind of been in the back of my mind, like they can't do that with comic books, kind of, you know, but I'm like, it's very hard to do it with comic books.
Yeah.
Especially for somebody has to really, really, really know what they're doing to actually get it by a comic book collector. And that's the scary thing is that it happened.
Yeah.
You know, so how many times this has happened, I know obviously we're catching them. I think there's two separate instances of a slab being faked and then somebody getting sent a photocopied picture of the cover of a Captain America book.
Yeah.
That they bought.
It's crazy.
So I don't know, you know, a lot of people like to say, you know, a lot of people like to not touch their books and like to not open their books, you know, especially when it comes to some of the older stuff. But if you're going to check out a book and you can have it in your hands, or if you're really serious about buying it, ask the seller to open it. Ask the seller to check it out. Put some gloves on and open it. You know, if you're looking through a bin or something like that and you want to ask first, most of the time they'll tell you you know, especially if you kind of just be gentle. Open it, and then that's gonna give you a dead giveaway right there. You know what I'm saying? So like, if an eBay seller or anybody that's selling anything doesn't want to open the book and send you a picture of the book, if you think it's fake and prove that it's not fake, then then just don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, those are all like super beneficial if it's not slapped, but once it's slabbed and you don't see it, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, I mean,
especially
I think it really comes down to those graders notes and those SKUs because it gives you the date that it was done on. It tells you everything, and you know, for colors, and that's the biggest giveaway is the color. If the color is slightly off, especially with these photocopied covers, look at those graders notes. Because they're not going to allow that cover to be slightly worn by the light and not ding it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if it looks washy and it's saying it's a 9.8, and you're like, why is a washy cover a 9.8? It's fake.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so crazy because, like, realistically, all these things are so easy to duplicate. You know what I mean? And it's just, that's the thing is that with CGC is that I don't think that
easy to duplicate.
I think the slab is the hardest part to duplicate. Everything is so easy.
Yeah, but if as far as raw comics, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying if you figure out how to just start printing CGC slabs that look good, like they have that blue tint, the clearness, if you figure that out, everything else is done. Like you can dupe a comic in 10 minutes. You can create the label in 10 minutes to take you to whatever book you put inside of it. You could take a comic out of a dollar bin, print a perfect cover, mimic everything. Because realistically, if I'm remaking that label and I see the QR code, I'm checking that QR code like, oh, it says this about the cover. It says this about the cover. I'm recreating that cover perfectly. It's so, especially with like the printing options that we have now, like you can do it. It's not, I feel like we saw just the ones that we saw in that video were good. I feel like you could even take it a step further and make them even better. It's just paper. Like we can print anything.
You can, but like I said, with the slab, the hardest thing to fake is that inside sleeve. Mm-hmm. And that's the scary part. Because if they're getting sealed insides, because for a slab, it's an outer shell encasing the inner shell, which is encasing the comic book. So that inner shell that's in there, you have to cut that open. Once it's sealed, there is no resealing it or anything like that. So that's the crazy part.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen this, like if you've ever seen anybody like rip these things open, the label is attached to that flap and everything, and you have to cut that label off and the whole 9 yards to get that comic out. So for them to be able to get, I mean, you can't get it back together, but to get a new one and somehow get it closed is insane because like these things are patented. So like even if you were to go and 3D print them, at that point, all it takes is for them to find out who's 3D printing them, and then CGC is going to sue you, and then you're done.
I mean, because laws matter to these people. You know what I mean?
Well, no. But what I'm saying is that if they're running an eBay store selling these fake CGC slabs, it's not going to be hard to bust them. It's one person doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is. And I don't know how they're getting around,
right?
But it's not multiple people. It's not a lot of people. It's maybe a couple guys that are in on this and who are doing it, which is intense.
Yeah, I guess I'm just saying like this could get a lot worse.
It can,
and
so just be careful. Yeah. That the moral of the story: be careful when you're buying your comics and stuff.
Like if you've. I don't know. It's crazy. People can do anything with the technology that we have. And like I said, people are remaking IDs, passports. They're printing guns. They're printing, you know what I mean? Like duping a comic book is not the hardest thing in the world. If you have the technology to do, like I said, if you can 3D print or make a slab duplicate and you get that clarity of that and stuff, like I feel like that's gonna be the hardest part, because a lot of 3D prints you can see some lines depending on what kind of filament you use.
Yeah, and then you gotta sand it. And all that kind
so
of
if
stuff.
you get that clarity of a slab and you're just making slabs, and you go that far, like you don't care if there's a patent, because
obviously,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So people are printing money. You know what I mean? They found out how to beat like money testers and all kinds of stuff. Like we've dealt with it in retail. I've dealt with it in retail my whole life, like different types of fake money. And it's like the way that people are doing it now is crazy. If they can do that, they can do a slab. You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree with that, but it comes down to just being careful. If you guys haven't picked up an Overstreet price guide advisor, pick one of those manuals up or books up. They have a million different issues because it kind of goes throughout the years and how comics change. So once a year, I'm pretty sure they put it out. Pick up a recent issue and you guys will start seeing how to grade a book and what to look for, what they look for. And it's only going to help you buying books. You know what I'm saying?
It's also one of those things where, like, if you're looking and you're like, this 9.8 slab of whatever comic is $17,000 everywhere, but this guy on eBay selling it for $1,000. You know what I mean? Or stuff like that. That being said, you have to be careful too of like you're running like a raffle essentially. So it's one of those things where, like, yeah, you could pay $10 to get in, and that's super cheap for you. But over time, like, the seller of a raffle is making their money back or making that price point, so you got to think about things like that. But if there's just somebody randomly selling a comic that's thousands and thousands of dollars for like $500, there's probably something fishy about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Just be careful. That's it.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Do that.
Do some research before you buy big dollar stuff. And
even on the sellers, look at their eBay page. Things go in and out, and I know you can only list X amount on eBay and stuff like that, but look at their eBay page and see if you can find them on other places like Instagram and stuff, and that'll kind of give you a good representation, because if they only have 2 Instagram posts or no Instagram posts and 0 followers or something like that, then you know what's up. Or they have the 1 Instagram post up and that's it, then what are you doing, man?
It's crazy to me, because like I want a 3D printer because like I make stuff in Blender, and I'm like, I want to make little figurines of my things. And other people are like printing guns. It's like people are wild.
Yeah, like the different spectrum of the universe. We have us over here like, let's make Pokemon action figures, or like let's make like a coin.
I can make a chain.
Yeah,
I can make a worm that wiggles.
Right? Let's print our own chainmail. Stuff
people
like
have
that.
done it. Yeah.
I know, it's intense.
Like camping. How many times have we? I'm just gonna keep saying that.
It's every time I say intense.
No, man. All right. Well, that being said, be careful.
Yeah.
We'll see what's coming from DC and Marvel. Quantumania is history-making, record-breaking, and let's get into a pull list.
Explosions!
Ready? Mm-hmm. Diving on into the pull list this week. Got a couple different ones. What do you
this week wasn't like super exciting to me. There was some, but it's like I knew you were taking one of the ones that you took, so I wasn't going to take it. You know what I mean? And so we got a couple ones, but first on this list is one that you knew was going to be here, Murder World.
There we go.
Game over. So this is supposed to be the finale, the final game. It's Murder World, we've explained it before, only one person can win, everybody else dies in it, and this is the last one, so bodies are piled up everywhere. There's going to be one person left alive at the end, and it says that the Black Widow is in the end, and somebody has to go against her smarts, her assassin abilities. Assassination. Somebody has to go against Black Widow at the end. They made it past Avengers. And it's different too, because throughout this, you were in a group of people trying to sneak through. You know what I mean? At the end, there's going to be maybe a couple. And you're just 1v1ing Black Widow. Good luck. You know what I mean?
Right.
You made it past Wolverines. You made it past Spider-Mans. You made it past Moon Knight. You made it past the Avengers. But now you're just 1v1 in Black Widow.
Oh, dang.
A mind control Black Widow at that, probably. You know what I mean?
Right.
Good luck.
Makes for a super interesting, action-packed story.
Yeah, I'd imagine, and we'll see what happens.
Right. Book number 2 up on this pull list. We're diving into End of the Spider-Verse, issue number 6.
Yes.
Didn't know this was happening.
I didn't either.
Me neither.
There's been so much Spider-Man stuff lately.
I know.
With we
had another Miles Morales start with issue number 1. There's a lot of Red Goblin and Gold Goblin and
goblins.
Stuff.
There's the whole Dark Web line that's wrapping up. We're getting some Ghost Spider stuff here and there. Spider Gwen. We're getting just an abundance of Spider-Man stuff. So, Lost Hunt, there's so much stuff. Double Trouble.
There's a lot of stuff, man. Wow. Now that we're just like you start raffling it off, it's like, dang.
So missing one here and there is kind of expected. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just a bummer that I feel like I'm always coming in on the end of my favorites for some reason. Like I don't catch the ones that I would think would be one of my favorites, which is this obviously has stuff to do. It looks like Spider-Gwen actually has a lot to do in this one. She's taking up a lot of the cover.
Deadly Neighborhood Spider. just more stuff.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. But with these Spider-Verse covers, they make the coolest variants. You know, as far as Marvel is concerned, I love them. You know, another Spider Pig. You know, on there.
Spider-Ham.
Right. Yeah. So. Super excited about that one.
Oh, yeah. Like I said earlier in the podcast, I like Spider-Man. I do like Spider-Man. But
you hate Superman.
Yeah, if you're seeing this in the pull list, go check out the podcast to see what we're talking about. Book number 3 in this one is going to be a Rick and Morty time zoo. They figure out that they've been just living life and nothing's changing. No real new music's coming out. Nothing's really progressing. And once they find out that that's happening, they realize they're stuck in a time zoo and they've just been in this infinite loop. And Summer has to be the one to come in and save the day.
Oh, great.
So unexpected Summer saving the day in this one. Rick and Morty. You know, we talked about Rick and Morty. We'll see what's going on with the show moving forward with everything that's coming out with that. But the comics are still going strong. And, Rick and Morty covers, again, they're just so funny. They're so colorful. They're really fun to look at, really cool to hang up, really cool to display. And I'm here for Rick and Morty always, you know?
Right. Yeah, these ones, I get kind of excited about them. It almost seems like the stories that they tell in the comics are a little bit better than what they kind of tell in on TV.
I totally agree. And it's a little bit to be expected, because you get a season every year if we're lucky.
I'm sure it's just a whole different group of writers.
Oh yeah, it is. The first time I ever went to C2E2, I don't know if I've told this story on. It might have been like a Spotlight or something, but the first time I went to C2E2, it was like, meet the writers of Rick and Morty, meet Rick and Morty, meet this, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, that was like around the time that the comic was getting started. And I was like, cool, I've watched all the episodes. I'm going to go see the people that do the show. And then I got there and it was all the comic people. And I'm like, this isn't what I thought it was, but cool. And they're like drawing Rick and Morty and all that stuff. So it's totally a different team. And they can just do different series, you know what I mean? Yeah. They got this now, the Time Zoo one. They had like the Space Force kind of type stuff going on. You can get normal Rick and Morty. We had Rick and Morty 100 on a pull list not too long ago. So there's different series and different runs going on in comics, so you can experience and experiment with different things in the comics, where like you get like 10, 13 episodes a year, sometimes every other year with the show, so they can't cover all of it. There has to be a through line there somewhere.
Yep. Yeah. Guys, before we dive into the last book on the pull list, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any future videos or podcasts, because we're coming here every week. We're here every week. Every week.
And it's going to get better.
There we go.
Because, like we said, we're building and things are changing, and once everything's complete, you're getting content after content.
There we go. We're ready. Getting that machine moving.
So many ideas right now, but so much time spent on like building. So once that building phase is over, all these ideas are coming.
Right.
You're gonna get 2 videos a day every day. No, I'm just kidding. Don't mark my words on that one. But
we're diving into Harley Quinn number 27 right here for the last and final book on the pull list this week. I haven't read it, last issue, 26. I have been picking it up, haven't read it, but I do know kind of what's happening, and that we got what I believe to be the first appearance of the Harley Who Laughs in issue 25. 26, there's been a battle happening, and now there's like 50 to 80 different Harleys that are kind of fighting against each other, and they all have to team up and figure out how to save this multiverse from kind of collapsing at this point.
Yeah, I had forgotten a little bit that we said that there's just a bunch of Harleys happening right now.
Yeah.
And then you're like, this is the Kang dynasty, but it's the Harley dynasty.
Yeah.
I was like, oh dang.
Right.
I was like, yeah, brought me right back.
It's just like a big Harley war, so I'm fine with it. It's cool. The Harley who laughs looks bad A, as we like to say. You know, so that could be a really cool sideshow piece or something like that. I feel if there's any action figures or something that comes out of the Harley who laughs, I'm swiping them.
Swipe or no swiping.
There we go.
Dora. That being said, that's going to wrap up the podcast and the pull list this week. So if you haven't checked out the rest of the podcast, go check it out on Wednesdays. Pull list every Monday-ish. And check out the description for things like free money and whatnot using our link to sign up. You get $10 when you use that link. Dubby.gg. Get 10% off using code Collective Comics at checkout for your jitterless energy. And until next week, this has been Collective Comics.